/ Duval County, and I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the west coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MediShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge. But it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MediShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping to keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D on the other side of the glass. You got Nina in the breaking newsroom, and you hanging out with us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Big thank you to Mike Opelka for filling in for me yesterday. I think he did admirably, valiantly. D, what other words can I think of? Those
are great.
They did good, admirably. Okay. So we thank Mike Opelka. It's always fun to hang out with him on the show. We travel, as he's probably mentioned yesterday, when I do and used to go travel a lot, CPAC and other places. We would always be together. So always a lot of fun. Still feel a little under the weather. You know, D, it's like, it's a weird thing. I'm kind of, sort of, like something's not right. You know, when there's a day you take off from work and you're like, I just don't feel good. This is not happening. And then the next day you come back to work and you're like, better. You know, it's just not there.
But something's not, you're about not quite 100% back.
Yeah. And that's okay. We move on. That's what we do. A lot to do today. A lot of great guests and more coming up. But first, let me get to this, if you don't mind. Let me start with this. What in the world is that? There's a lot of things that are playing at the same time. And hold on a second. See, I come back for 2 seconds, and all of a sudden, everything is like all completely out of whack. All right. There it is. Okay, nice and quiet. All right, here we go. I want to start with this. The former FBI Director, James Comey. James Comey, who should have been perp walked today, but it wasn't perp walked today, and I was really sad about that because they took him through a back door so that, I guess nobody would see the fact that he needs to be perp walked, and here we go, a little bit of this.
Director James Comey in front of a judge moments ago in a hearing that we did not think would last long, and apparently that is the case. He has entered a plea of not guilty.
Not guilty, I tell you. See, here's the thing about the not guilty plea. Of course he's going to plead not guilty. And he's going to try to win this case. I get it. And he's not going to plead guilty because he's James Comey. Are you kidding me? That dude with an attitude like going in there and saying, I'm guilty. It'll never happen. He would never admit his guilt, even if he was guilty. And he is guilty. My opinion, allegedly. So you had the not guilty plea.
To 2 charges, federal level now. Our producers inside the courtroom say the former director accused of lying to Congress, obstructing a congressional proceeding, entered the plea moments ago in front of the judge, Michael Nachmanoff, appointed by Joe Biden.
Oh, that ought to go well. All right, so I guess we know, never mind. I think we have already figured out where this is going. Yep, there you go. Okay. Yeah, thinking like victory is on the way for one, James Comey. I don't know. Let's not play it like that. Just because he's a Biden appointee. I mean, Biden had no idea that he was doing that anyway.
Not a joke.
I know. So, former FBI Director James Comey pleading not guilty, 2 federal felony charges, lying and obstructing Congress. And you knew that was going to happen. And, you know, a couple of things that I wanted to bring up with this story that to me are so important. It's the lead, it's the 30,000 foot, I don't know how you want to describe it, but it's all rolled into one. Look, they have the evidence to prove, among so many other things. I mean, 2016 in the presser where he's like, yeah, you know, we got all this stuff against Hillary Clinton. I mean, she's guilty as guilty can possibly be. But there's no prosecutor that would go ahead and do this. No reason a prosecutor would charge her. So we're not going to present this to the DOJ. But that's not your job. Your job is to investigate. And you find the evidence, and then you're like, right there should have been like, hey, could we check into this guy a little bit? Because something's not right. Among other things. I'll just start with that. But the media is going to spin this. They're going to try to make it seem like something that it's not. And I want everybody to follow along with my thinking here. And D, I need you to be the ombudsman here. So while I'm doing this, at the end of this, I need to tell you to tell me whether I'm right, I'm really off, I'm crazy, I'm not admirable. That's kind of like my word today because I have a hard time saying it. Can you say admirable 10 times?
I'm not going to attempt that.
Yeah, I know that because you can't. Nobody can. It's physically impossible. You can't make your mouth do that. It's one of those words. But anyway, let's play a couple of clips here. So this is MSNB, whatever they call themselves these days. I watch so you don't have to. Pleading not guilty. Trial date set for January 5th. Oh, my birthday. There you go. All right. So let's see what's going on here.
Yeah, in fact, the last administration went to great lengths to try to eliminate even an appearance of influence.
Sorry. Did you just say that the last administration went through great lengths to? Wait, can you say that again?
To try to eliminate even an appearance of influence or, political bias related to certain cases.
Oh, my. Did you really go there? Yes, MSNBC wanted to let you know that during the Biden administration, they went through all kinds of lengths to button it all up, to make sure they dotted the I's and crossed the T's, and everything was perfect. And they never went after anybody. I mean, they made sure that, there was no American citizen that was being spied on or looked upon or anything like that was happening. There was no doxing or anything going on, no censorship. No. They were making sure everything was clean as the wind-driven snow. I bring that up because they're crazy, allegedly. That's nuts. So that is the biggest lie you will ever hear. That is verbatim. The last administration went to great lengths to try to eliminate even an appearance of influence of, political bias related to certain cases with appointments of special counsels that were separated from the Justice Department. No, that didn't happen. That wasn't the case at all. You don't remember what was going on with Merrick Garland? Of course you do. I do, and you do, but they don't want to admit what you do. And Bernie does.
This is what you do.
He knows what you do. So you have that line of, as some would say, crudola. I think they say it in a different way, right? It's not crudola, but I don't know if I can say that on the radio. The other way you would say it. The rhymes with rap? No? Okay, he's silent. All right, anyway. Now here comes the important part. We know that the media is going to lie and distort and make James Comey seem like as clean as the wind-driven snow. I mean, that guy doesn't 86-47 anybody. Shells, stones, doesn't even know what it means. He's not that guy. So now you have CNN and other media outlets that you don't watch. I watch, so you don't have to. Thank you. You're welcome. So now here's Jake Tapper, who's speaking with, I want to make sure I get this right, who's speaking with James Comer. All right, House member James Comer. Okay. And they're having a conversation about the aforementioned James Comey. So Jake Tapper, James Comer, Republican representative, listen to the conversation. Check this out.
Any concerns at all that this is a political prosecution?
And here we go. Ding, 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 ding. Ding. That is a D-ding right there. That's what I want you to follow. This is the MO of the media, of Democrats, the left, the communist, Marxist, socialists, all the same thing. This is the narrative. Aren't you worried that this is a political prosecution? So what does James Comer say?
Absolutely not. This is where I probably disagree with you, Jake. I've seen enough on Comey that I think that he deserves a day in court. I believe that there's been sufficient evidence that has emerged that would show potential wrongdoing. Obviously, Comey deserves due process.
Well, okay, we'll give it to him.
As does anyone else. But as far as political retribution, I don't view it as retribution. I view it as accountability.
You better believe it. It's accountability. That's what it is. And one more time, why am I bringing this up? because I just want to get this straight. So, aren't you worried at all that this is political retribution? No. And you want to know why? Because I just want to check something out here. So, what you're suggesting is if a president who knows, and maybe there is evidence that the DOJ would be ready to prosecute, evidence that the FBI investigates and then the DOJ takes over and there's prosecutions in hand or special counsels or wherever you want to go. The suggestion is if the president is Republican and the person who we seem to have enough information to believe that there's a crime, but we want his day in court because they're a Democrat, you don't get to do it. Is that how this works? So with all of this, aren't you afraid of political retribution? Aren't you worried that there might be enough evidence here that he's guilty? How about that part? What about that? Did you have this was the best conversation. And I don't know if you heard this because I don't think you watch Chris Cuomo's show. You probably don't even know where he is. He's on News Nation right now. All right, so he's talking to Eric Trump. And again, this is how you do it. Somebody sang that once. This is how you do it. I'm sorry. Every time I hear somebody say this is how you do it, I can't help it, but Montel Jordan just pops right in my head. Boom. There it is. The song.
That's fair.
It's fair. It is fair. Eric Trump on why his family's quote unquote under siege. Here's Chris Cuomo.
Do you think that it is fair to say it looks like the administration is going after its political opponents?
No. See, they're doing it. Going after political opponents.
Now and doing exactly what you say you oppose.
No, what you don't understand is, again, they went after President Trump because, well, he was a political rival. They didn't want him to be president of the United States. They were fearful of a lot of things that the president's going to find out about, which he did, 2016, the rigging of an election, that kind of thing, and then some of the transparent things that have come out since. And again, I asked the question, okay, fine. But what if this dude's guilty? No, seriously, what if he's guilty? What if he's guilty of a crime because he's a Democrat and because he was part of what was the Trump-Russia collusion hoax? If he's guilty of a crime, we're supposed to just forget about it because Democrats?
What, Comey? Because I mean, it seemed very clear to me in the congressional testimony. I don't know, just watching it, I certainly seemed like he lied to me. I mean, I'm also wondering what an FBI director is doing, taking memos from the FBI and leaking them to the New York Times. Yeah. I mean, Chris, I'm a guy that hopes that the FBI director would be keeping planes from flying into buildings, keeping our country safe, keeping the Western way of life safe. Instead, this guy is, communicating every single day with the New York Times. I mean, I'd hope a lot better. But I find it so ironic that you're literally one that's pushing back on the weaponization of government when the very same people that were coming after us, went after your brother, like hounds. I mean...
I like that. I applaud Eric Trump for saying that. That's right. Don't forget, it was the same Democrats that went after the governor there in New York, Andrew Cuomo.
They did everything they could to destroy his governorship. They did everything they could to destroy his life.
Yeah, but he's a Democrat, so he probably could have done that on his own. But anyway, the point is that good for Eric Trump for coming back with that. And just so you understand that is the MO now. That's what we're looking at. So all of this to say, before we move on, and D, again, hopefully this all makes sense, that somehow, some way, the American people need to be convinced that if a Republican decides to go after a Democrat where there is clear cause to do so, whether it's through an FBI, special counsel, DOJ, prosecution, indictments, or anything else, and there's evidence to say that they should have their day in court, but we've got evidence to prove that there's some criminality going on here. We're not supposed to do it because Democrats. Does that make sense? Like what we always say, D. But Democrats. Yeah. So, all right. Hopefully that made sense. 866-588-8303. I bet you didn't know we have a phone number anytime you want to call. If you're watching at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook, and you're like, hey, can I call this dude while he's talking right now? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. 866-588-8303 is the phone number. We're live 3 to 6 p.m. each and every day. All right. Well, Monday through Friday. Weekends, though, we try to sleep. But we don't. But anyway, that's just a personal thing. Moving on. All right. Some big news out of the state of Florida. I would say this is kind of big news. I don't think, well, I can't speak for you. I can't speak for Dee. I can sometimes speak for Nina, but I can't speak for anybody else. I can only speak for me. I got to be honest. I kind of thought, I didn't see this one coming, but I kind of thought, maybe this would have happened. The President of the United States, Donald Trump, today endorsed Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer, giving a significant boost to the DeSantis appointee as he launches his first statewide campaign. Othmeyer, appointed by the governor earlier in the year after the post was left vacant when the Attorney General Ashley Moody became U.S. Senator. You know, there was this back and forth and talk about, remember at the time, who was going to be the Attorney General, who was going to be appointed in the movement of all the chess pieces, as it were. You know, who was going to become senator, then who was going to end up here, and then who was going to end up there. There's a lot of chess piece moving in the state of Florida. And oh, by the way, there's going to be plenty of that coming up into 2026. But I did not see this necessarily coming at this time, where the president praised Othmeyer's leadership in high-profile legal matters, including the recent U.S. Supreme Court case involving presidential powers, credited the AG with overseeing the arrest of more than 1,000 suspected child predators, supporting state law enforcement in efforts to combat human trafficking and child exploitation. May I read what he wrote? Because I think this is pretty impressive. Florida Attorney General James Othmeyer is doing a great job, capital letters, for the Sunshine State, which I won big in 2016, 2020, and 2024. James is an America First warrior who is a true champion for MAGA. Wow. He is the man behind Alligator Alcatraz and argued strongly at the U.S. Supreme Court in defense of my executive power to fire deep state bureaucrats. Under James' fearless leadership, over 1,000 criminal pedophiles have been arrested, missing children have been saved, and our great members of law enforcement have been empowered to do their jobs and keep Florida safe. In his next term, James will continue to work tirelessly to ensure law and order, uphold the constitutional rights, and protect our always under siege Second Amendment. James Othmeyer, check this out, is a strong conservative fighter and prosecutor and has my complete and total endorsement. He will not let you down. Whoa. That's, some might say, that's bigly, everybody. And again, have to be honest, didn't see it coming, the endorsement from the president, such a strong endorsement. And it's hard to argue what he has put out as far as what the Attorney General has done here in the state. And the AG said, "Thank you, Mr. President. I'll keep fighting on behalf of Floridians and the American people, and I won't let you down." So I just thought that was very cool. I thought that there's, again, and let me just, how do I say this? Let me just give you the 30,000-foot view. That's the second time. Dee, is that the second time or the third time I've said 30,000-foot view today?
At least twice.
Yeah. Do you hate that? Be honest with me. Do you hate when I say 30,000-foot view? Is that like one of those? I
like the analogy, but spread it out.
Okay. So my quote is up today. Like if I do it again, are you going to? So if you.
I mean, it's been 23 minutes. Let's make the next one at like 4 o'clock.
Wow. Okay. Some might say that was pretty rude. I might say it's honest. He's right. Okay. So, okay. What was my point? The view thing. I can't say it again. That there have been up to this point a lot of moving parts, chess pieces put into play. Who's going to nominate who wants to endorse who believes that this person should be the governor, who doesn't think that this person should be the governor, who they would want in place of said person, who they would want to be running for this position. There's a lot of moving chess parts that have been happening here in the state of Florida. Okay. There's no judgment here. It's just what it is. But I didn't see that one as far as Trump endorsing the attorney general. Like, I'm not saying he's wrong at all. I'm saying I just didn't see it coming. But interesting movements of pieces. Don't know if that made sense. In my head, it made sense. Sometimes things come out of your mouth, and they should stay in your head. But I hope that one worked out for you. All right, what else we got? All right, once again, anytime you want to watch it, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. I know, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to get to the latest on the LA fires. What do I mean, LA fires? Wasn't that in January? Yes, it was, but there's some news, new news, some breaking news. They finally arrested someone for starting the Palisades fire in LA. Wait a second. I thought it was climate change. I thought it happened naturally. I thought there was nothing that anybody can do about it. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that coming up. Also, one of these stories that seems to be a big story, but it depends on where you stand. Hey, I don't know why the Washington Post carried the story, but I haven't heard one single solitary person on radio, media, TV. Maybe there's someone, maybe I missed it, who didn't talk about this from yesterday because it happened over the weekend. Police, this is Washington Post. Here's the headline. Police. Man arrested at D.C. Catholic Church had 200 homemade explosives. Supreme Court justices were expected to attend Red Mass at St. Matthew's Cathedral on Sunday. So a leftist got arrested with 200 explosives outside a church where Supreme Court justices were supposed to be. The person threatened to ignite explosives when confronted, had a manifesto that expressed hatred for, ready? For Christians, Supreme Court justices, Jews, and ICE. Shouldn't we be hearing more about this? That seems like a pretty big story. I wonder why someone would feel so negatively lately about Christians, for example, ICE and Supreme Court justices. What would bring that up? Like, why would that happen? I think we might have the answer on the other side of the break. Sometime today, we're going to be talking about this a little more because the media has done it again. They just can't help themselves. What are you talking about? You'll find out coming up in just a bit. But first, I know what I'm talking about when it comes to air conditioning. Like, I know what it's like when the air conditioning in this building or in my house is not working, and it's miserable. You know what it's like. You live in Florida. Can you imagine the air conditioner goes out right now? Yeah, I know you don't want to think about it, but you got to have a guy. You got to have someone, right? Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. They understand, by the way, that maybe the air conditioner went out. And just like buying a new car, it's like, okay, I want to be able to have different choices, makes, models, accessories, you know, that kind of thing. Well, Strata Air Conditioning and Heating, they understand that. They want to get the exact unit that's right for you, maybe for your budget, your lifestyle, your house specifically. Strata sells and services every major manufacturer, so that means Trane, Mitsubishi, Lennox, Carrier, Goodman, and Daikin, and they are committed to 5-star customer service. So if you're in the need of, I said that, of an air conditioner right now, Strata Air Conditioning and Heating. Go to strataac.com, STRADAAC.com. You ought to call Strata, license number CACO 43953. All right, top of the news on the way next. My name is Drew Steele. This is Florida's Voice.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm Chris Jakimick. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. Being a veteran, it's interwoven into your DNA. Is really the absence of the connection and the purpose that can really drive a lot of veterans to some negative thoughts. For those who are in a suicidal crisis, the window of time to save somebody's life is very short. Our duty is to protect ourselves and protect our families. And one way you can do that is store your weapons safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and I have to tell you, when my wife and I talked about getting new kitchen countertops for our house, we know who to call. Rock Solid Countertops and More, 2240 J&C Boulevard in Naples. And they have been absolutely amazing. Hugo and the team are the best. The workmanship has been absolutely incredible. The install was so easy. The process was perfect. Taking everything out, bringing the new stuff in. The quartz countertop is unbelievably beautiful, and my wife is super happy, I'll tell you. You know they have the best quality and selection of marble, quartz, granite, and a one-stop shop for all of your kitchen, outdoor, and bathroom needs. I've known it for years. I've lived in Southwest Florida 40 years. There was really only one place I was going to go. It's rock-solid countertops and more. I would suggest you give them a call, 596-7676. They're at 2240 JNC Boulevard in Naples. Find out what they can do for you. Countertops, cabinets, plantation shutters, they do it all. Rock solid countertops and more.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into. And that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 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 855-SHARE-40.
Since the dawn of time, man and wildlife have shared a connection, and hunting traditions passed down from generation to generation have connected man to the natural world, from bow and arrow to hook and bullet. As man evolved, our link to those traditions remain with them forever. Yet today, our basic instinct to provide and as part of the hunt to conserve and appreciate the natural world has fallen under attack for the first time in human history. The misguided politicians and radical activists pushing an agenda to end hunting as we know it, or leading a war against our heritage and their misguided policies and protests. They demonize hunters and belittle our way of life, the results of hunters leaving the sport in droves, while our wildlife and ecosystems suffer the consequences as conservation funding dries up. Named after the father of the North American model for wildlife conservation, the International Order of T. Roosevelt is fighting in the arena to protect and expand the rights of hunters everywhere. We will fight back against these forces to make sure that every American has a right to hunt, enshrined in their state constitutions. We will educate the next generation in our traditions and seek to expand accessibility so that everyone can enjoy our pastimes. And we will continue to hold true to our namesake's efforts to protect, preserve, and ensure open access to our nation's wild lands. Teddy Roosevelt's vision for American conservation defines our modern hunting and conservation system, a system upheld by the idea that conservation efforts are crucial to our hunting way of life, and that hunters are crucial to successful conservation.
To some, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much, but that's not true. They're testing out vowels and consonants and trying different sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on meaning, especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? It's time to shift gears and seize the fresh opportunities this new pro-business environment has to offer. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and the team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you, helping you go on the offense with advanced tax strategies, thoughtful risk management, and forward-thinking financial planning. Imagine enjoying the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve, all while staying one step ahead in a changing world. You've got to do it. Alfie and his team design personalized strategies to strengthen your financial foundation so you can focus on living life on your terms. Ready to find out more? text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, you can call or text 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and see how a proactive approach can help you thrive no matter what the market does next. Don't wait. Call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470 right now.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
All right, anytime you want to watch it, FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. Anytime you want to call, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. All right, let's find out what's going on in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We call this Top of the News.
Top of the News, Florida's headlines.
Now. You might be asking, hey, what are they working on? I have no idea. Let's find out together. Who's up there? Let me see. Oh, it is AP. Anita Badilla is in the Florida's Voice newsroom. Let's find out what's up. What's up?
Hey there, Drew.
Hey.
President Trump gives a ringing endorsement to Florida's Attorney General. That story tops our news right now. President Trump throwing his support behind Florida Attorney General James Uthmeier, giving a boost to the DeSantis appointee as he launches his first statewide campaign. He did it on his Truth Social account. Trump called Uthmeier an American first warrior and a true MAGA champion. Uthmeier, who's never run for office, was appointed earlier this year after Ashley Moody left to join the U.S. Senate. He is now the only major Republican in the race. Florida lawmakers are looking to create a new statewide day of remembrance, and this one is for Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk. Kirk was assassinated on September 10th. A bill filed in the House would designate October 14th each year as Charlie Kirk Day. Supporters say it would honor his legacy as someone who inspired a generation of young people to engage in civics and stand for free speech. The bill would allow Governor Ron DeSantis to issue an annual proclamation. If it passes, it would take effect July 1st of next year. Speaking of Charlie Kirk, Florida's Education Commissioner is taking aim at the Alachua County School Board, saying that members there are violating parents' rights and fostering a, quote, toxic culture. Anastasios Kamoutsas called out the board's vice chair, Tina Certain, who's been summoned to a state education meeting now, all over a social media post about Charlie Kirk following his assassination. Kamoutsas said her comment, which was calling Kirk an uneducated white boy, those were her words. He said those words send a dangerous message to students. The state is now monitoring the district, citing low school grades and a lack of respect for the First Amendment. A Florida city councilman apologizes for his tone, but not his message. The immigration comments that are sparking outrage among some people and the calls for the governor to suspend him. I'll have that story coming up at 4:35. I'm Anita Padilla, the news director here at Florida's Voice. Drew, back over to you.
All right, AP in the Florida's Voice newsroom. We appreciate you. And anytime you want to check out the stories that they are working on, pretty simple. You got flvoicenews.com, the website, and right there it is right at your fingertips or whatever it is that you got there at your beck and call. Anyway, all right, what else do we have going on here at Florida's Voice? Hit me. You know, I had an interesting conversation just the other day with Collier County Sheriff Kevin Rambosk. You know, we were talking about the 287G program, the immigration enforcement program. A couple of things came up. I thought they were very interesting, having to do with the state of Florida and, of course even broadly across the nation. And I didn't want it to pass by without having the conversation today with Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey, who's joining us right now on Florida's Voice, because I thought that some of what he was talking about was very interesting, and I just wanted to get his take on it. First of all, on the road, there he is. How are you, sir?
Good, Drew. You doing good, buddy?
Yeah, everything is good. I'm doing all right here. Some interesting comments that were made by the Collier County Sheriff. I didn't know this. He was talking about a couple of different things with regard to the 287G program. And one of the things that he talked about, he said out of roughly 3,000 sheriff's offices across the U.S., only 60 take part in the program. Is that right? And so that obviously makes us stand tall, because I would imagine a bulk of them that are here in the state of Florida. Like, well, what about that?
Yeah, so I think he's talking about full participation in all the 287 stuff.
Right.
Because I can tell you under Governor DeSantis' direction with the Attorney General, Uthmeier, all 67 sheriff's offices in the state of Florida are 287G in some capacity. All the jails in the state of Florida are. I can tell you, Sheriff Rambosk, who is awesome, by the way, his agency has been one of the longtime participants in that program. Of course, he's old anyway. He was one of the 2 sheriffs Noah had on the ark. I'm pretty sure. But,
you do. Hold on a second. Go. There you go. You get the drum roll for that one. Very nice.
I'll be getting a phone call from him later.
Yes,
I'm sure.
you will. Yes, you will, sir. Yes, you will. But seriously,
awesome.
but go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at just the numbers that Sheriff Rambosk was talking about, just in his county alone, that they've been able to work with our federal partners on deporting. That's the benefit of having local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies working together on this problem that's, quite frankly, plaguing our country.
Right. Yeah, I think he was talking about more than 7,600 individuals deported from the U.S. just from Collier County. They had 12,000 criminal detainers placed for removal. So pretty impressive.
We just, 2 weeks ago did an operation in partnership with Florida Highway Patrol, ICE, and Homeland Security, and we and Customs, by the way. And just in 2 days, just in Brevard County, we sent 150 of them to be deported. So, when you're looking at those kind of numbers that are being created in just a 2-day, operation, it demonstrates how bad this problem is and how many illegals have come across our borders.
Right. Yeah. When you hear about these numbers, and I know he was also talking about the broken windows theory of policing, one that I have to tell you, when I was talking to family members who lived in New York and New York City, and the concept of the broken windows theory, which is like even the smallest of crimes, you've got to prosecute. You have to go after even the little things, because the little things lead to the big things. If you get the little things, you stop the big things. And it was successful there. And it's so important that because the left is going to go crazy, because they went nuts. They hated every minute of it. And which is weird, because as you saw crime go down in a city that changed, I mean, it was miraculous what happened in New York City. They would fight against all of that. But what about the result of it, right? Right, Sheriff? Like, at the end of the day, talk to me about the results, and then let's talk about why we're getting the results.
Yeah, and you and I have had a brief conversation about this before. Crime will rise to the level a community will tolerate. And so if you say we're no longer going to enforce this crime, then the next thing you know, there's another crime that you're having to look at and decide if you're going to enforce or not. So, in Brevard County, in fact, in most counties in the state of Florida, we have zero tolerance for crime, and quite frankly, even less for criminals. We enforce the law. I tell people here in Brevard County, if you as much as spit on our sidewalks, we're locking your butt up, because you have to maintain law and order. You have to maintain the beauty of your community, because that's why people are moving to Florida. They're not seeing the crap on the sidewalks and the crap that's everywhere across, those places. What they're seeing is beautiful landscapes where people are safe, where people feel like they can go to the park, and people feel like they can go to the store and not have to worry about being in harm's way.
Right. And as we've talked about before, the results of what you are doing is so important. It's like, you might want to say something about what ICE is doing, or you might want to say something about the 287G program, or you might want to say something about what your community, your sheriff in your community is doing. But then what are the results on the other side of it? What are we getting done? And then you see the positive results, and you can't fight against that. Although maybe you can talk about this before we go. That still, as we have these battles with certain individuals who just want to push back against what ICE is doing, I get worried each and every day that goes by, as it seems to escalate more and more what people are willing to do against ICE officers. I can't believe some of the things that are happening, and I truly worry.
I do too, and you're seeing law enforcement officers being doxxed on social media, their homes and, home addresses, their families being put out there. And, our Attorney General, James Uthmeyer, made it very clear. I had the blessing of standing with him at a press conference, and we were talking about this exact thing. You're not going to target law enforcement officers in the state of Florida. We are not going to tolerate it. If you go after our federal partners, our state partners, our local law enforcement, we're going to target you and come after you, because we're not going to have that. Our law enforcement officers put their heart and soul and passion into protecting their communities, and they deserve to go home to their families. They're doing a service for us out here, and they deserve to go home to their families and not be in harm's way. So we stand strong together. And the great part about it, Drew, is 99.9% of the citizens stand strong together with us, shoulder to shoulder. It's that little small vocal group of ankle biters that just want to spew garbage and run their chops. Those are the ones that get all the attention. But 99.9% of the citizens out here, regardless of how they vote, 99.9% of them love their law enforcement officers.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Sheriff. Always great to see you. Nice background, too. I'm a little overcast over here. In Southwest Florida, I'm a little overcast. You look like it looks beautiful back there. Looks like everything.
Yeah, it's pretty bright here. I don't know if you can see Saint back there. He's sleeping pretty good.
Yeah,
so,
good. Well, that's awesome.
See you, buddy.
All right, we'll see you soon. There he goes. That is Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey joining us on Florida's Voice. Always appreciate a few minutes with him. All right, 866-588-8303 is the phone number. All right, what else we got going on? Oh, we got a lot. Let's see. Where do we want to start? All right, well, let's start with this. I talked about it before the break. Let me preface, before I get to this, let me just say something else. There was some breaking news thanks to our own Eric L. D-A-U-G-H on X, Eric Doherty. The latest on the shutdown that we know as... Yeah, okay. Listen, soon it's going to be over, and then when it's over, I can't play it, so cut me some slack. Wow, there was quite the exchange. Heated between Hakeem Jeffries and Representative Mike Lawler, Republican of New York. We're going to get to that in just a little bit because I want to cue that up. But I said I was going to talk about this, so I want to. So here you go. We have a 29-year-old now that has been arrested. Fox News had the story, and they had the presser today on the Palisades fires from January.
My name is Kenny Cooper. I'm the special agent in charge of ATF's Los Angeles Field Division. Today marks a significant moment in a long road to justice for our community. After more than 8 months of tireless, meticulous work, I stand here with our partners, proud to announce an arrest in connection to the devastating Palisade fires that claimed lives, destroyed homes, and shook this community to its core.
Huh. Wait, so you captured climate change? Because it couldn't have been a person. Because I was told, well, first of all, they found evidence using a ChatGPT generated image of a city burning. Excuse me. All right, let me get this right. So they had a 29-year-old that they arrested for allegedly starting the Palisades fire in California. The evidence was found among some of the evidence, a ChatGPT generated image of a city burning. 23,000 acres were burned, 7,000 structures destroyed, 12 lives were lost in the fire. But wait a second. They caught a person, which is strange because I know that the great, sorry, I can't even say it with a straight face. The lousy, horrible, terrible, soon to be probably Democrat nominee for president of the United States in 2028. Get ready for that. Gavin Newsom told us in January, while the fires were going on, that it was climate change.
This is anomalous. I remember Paradise happened in November. I mean, so there's no fire season in California. It's year round. But to have this level, the acuity of fires is without precedent. These winds are without precedent. And the challenge is these winds are going to continue on and off, a little bit less intense. Last night, you got 80, 90 mile an hour winds. These guys were just up there to try to mitigate the embers going 2 miles and getting just to go a quarter of a mile to try to save some.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in
the Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was talking to the firefighter on this block.
Yeah.
They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
Yeah.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local authorities.
Yeah, so I hate to break it to everybody, but maybe we need to explore this individual deeper and find out, like, a little more about him. Starting the fires in Palisades? Wow.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
You know, a lot of times you have to choose between something high quality or something that saves you money. But if you could get both, why not? Especially when it comes to health care, and that is MediShare. You get both. Many families save $500 a month with MediShare, and that's huge. But it's also true that people wind up way more satisfied, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. That's because MediShare works. It has for more than 30 years. It's a community of Christians who have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth. They love the huge PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price in 2 minutes. Here's the number. Just call 855-SHARE-40. That's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE-40.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, if you're looking to take advantage of today's pro-business environment and strengthen your financial future, certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group have got you covered. They specialize in advanced tax strategies, risk management, and retirement planning, all aimed at helping high net worth investors like you thrive. Now, Alfie wants to share those insights with you with his book, Keeping You on the Retirement Fairway. It's packed with practical tips and forward-thinking strategies to help you make the most out of your hard-earned wealth. Ready to get your free copy? Text BOOK to 239-747-7470. That's 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Learn how to capitalize on that pro-business opportunities that are out there right now and secure the confident retirement you deserve. Once again, text BOOK to 239-747-7470 right now, and let Alfie Townsend and Advantage Retirement Group help guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move, when being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays, when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at USO.org today.
Now, back to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
I'm really excited because we're gonna ice skate on. Me and my family are gonna ice skate on the tree. But I gotta say, they should have waited for Halloween first.
Oh no, D. No.
Oh gosh.
Yep. Are you ready for this? So a local news reporter interviewed a little kid about what he thought about the fact that Pittsburgh just put up their downtown Christmas tree 2 months before Christmas. It's not even Halloween yet. And the kid's like, hey, could you wait for Halloween at least? Why would they do that? You can't have nice things. You just can't have nice things. You can't have Christmas trees in your downtown areas if you've got people on your city council or whatever, your county commission, that are like, hey, why don't we do it right now? I mean, we can start getting people down. Really? So is that what it was? So Pittsburgh is thinking, nobody really wants to be here. Maybe if we put the tree up right now in October, the beginning of October, maybe some people will show up. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know what to say about that.
You and me both.
I mean, I know what to say about it. I just said it. But what do we do about it? There has to be a revolt. Like people have to protest. They got to. All right, maybe we don't have to protest like that. But they got to show up and they got to be like, why did you do this? Take it down. Take it down. Oh, unless, I hope it's a fake one. Because if they took the life of the tree and it's up now, by Christmas in 2 months, a live tree, how's that going to look in 2 months? I don't know enough about Christmas trees, but take it down and come back and see us later. At least until after Halloween. Wow. All right. I don't know what the reasoning behind it was, but I don't care. It's wrong. It's just wrong. Moving on. All right. Hey, speaking of wrong, I think it's always fun when you can revisit people that are big lefties, Democrats, socialists, Marxists, communists, all the same thing. Members of the media who get things wrong and go back in history and revisit it. Because it was a year ago today. Oh, by the way, it's a Yesterday's News Today segment, everybody. Look.
It's time for Yesterday's News Today. Here's your host, Drew Steele.
Hey, thanks. Back at you. It was a year ago today that Oprah Winfrey decided that she was going to get into the discussion about who should be president of the United States, Kamala Harris. How did that one work out for you? And here's the reason why. Don't know if you know this, but a year ago today, Oprah said this.
Sit this one out. We don't get to sit this one out.
Listen.
If we don't show up tomorrow, it is entirely possible that we will not have the opportunity to ever cast a ballot again.
I'm sorry. Now, so there were people in the audience that like, well, Oprah's got a book club. I mean, if Oprah said it, it's got to be true, right? I mean, Oprah wouldn't lie to us. It's Oprah. So if we don't get this right, we'll never be able to vote again. Sure about that? How's that working out for us? I think everything's going to be okay with that. I could be off base. I don't know. You know, sometimes Oprah's slick like that. You know, she'll say something and she'll do the wink and the nod, and then you're like, that sounds ridiculous. And then all of a sudden, it happens, and you're like, wow, Oprah was right. I'm sorry, that never happens. I've never said to myself, wow, Oprah's slick, and if she says something, then maybe it'll come true or come to fruition, or I don't know what it was. Yeah, so that's always fun to look back, especially when the crazy left says things like that. And as a Democrat, why do you do that? Why do you believe that? Why do you think you should? I mean, I get it because you hate Trump that much and you're just convinced, and you got to stop. Get a hobby. Get a puppy.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
It's 4 a.m., Monday, and you're literally sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. Man, that's love. And if you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. To make sure your child's in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. You let him try violin because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way. No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutVaping.org.
You're listening to Florida's Voice with Drew Steele. Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Congratulations on your show.
Congratulations on your new show. Big deal, huh?
That's why shows like yours are so important.
We have an independent county elected sheriff that's head of law enforcement in Jacksonville/Duval County. And I know how to work toward making this city safe.
We can't be shy about speaking on things such as faith and politics. We have to remember, in a free society, the public square belongs to all of us.
I'm not interested in North Florida looking like Orlando or Miami. I love where we live, but I think that good jobs means that people that live in this district can stay in this district.
Fishing and hunting is funding a large part of your conservation projects in Florida, and we want to make sure that those are forever preserved.
And the problem with this industry at this point is that they actually target our youth. You can see it in their marketing strategies where it's bright colors, fun names.
And that's going to be endlessly litigated.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Hey, it's Drew Steele. Look, are you still playing defense with your money? Now might be the perfect time to go on offense and seize the opportunities presented by the new pro-business environment ushered in by President Trump and his administration. That's exactly what certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend and his team at Advantage Retirement Group do for high net worth investors like you. They create strategies designed to help manage taxes, control risks, and boost your financial confidence. It's a forward-thinking approach that can strengthen your foundation so you can enjoy the lifestyle you've worked so hard to achieve. If you're ready to see how Alfie's team can help elevate your plan, call or text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Schedule your one-on-one consultation today and discover proactive strategies to help you thrive in an ever-changing world. Again, text VISIT to 239-747-7470. Don't wait. Let Alfie Townsend and the Advantage Retirement Group team guide you toward a stronger, more confident financial future.
I've been dipping snuff for well over 30 years. You know, I could wake up in the morning and have a weird lump in my gums. Guess it's like playing Russian roulette, really. I would love grandchildren. And if by quitting it extends my life some, I would gladly lay it down.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
Today, push harder, push forward, push vigorously.
There are things that I am hiding from people that I'm trying to inspire.
You can do whatever you set your mind to.
I feel like a hypocrite a lot of the times.
Don't give up on yourself ever.
Smoking, I hide it because I'm ashamed of it. I want to get out of the shadow. I want to show people there is light away from the darkness. I am going to quit.
Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com to find free resources to help you quit your way.
We're with Bridget, whose husband won't be home for months and whose daughter is due any day. We're with Mike, who's leaving home to protect his family and yours. We're with all service members and their families who need community, connection, and maybe a bit of magic. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today. We're with Liam after his 4th military move. When being new is starting to get old. We're with Tara during the holidays when she misses home the most. We're with all service members and their families who need connection, comfort, and a home away from home. Are you with them? Learn more at uso.org today.
Hey, it's Drew Steele, and you know I love the Floor Meisters in Naples. Locally family-owned business, 3 generations of Meisters. Listen, what are you looking for? Carpet, tile, hardwood, Core-Tech? Maybe that's what you're looking for. And why don't we talk to TJ Meister right now of the Floor Meisters and find out what's going on with Core-Tech. What's up, TJ?
Well, we're just keeping up with the demand for Core-Tech. Just had to order a truck and bring it in from the west coast of the United States to keep up with all the needs and wants of the people of Southwest Florida. Somebody doesn't have it, give me a call. I probably do.
I tell you, I love my Core-Tech floor. People love it. What is it about it that makes it so awesome?
Well, it's waterproof, kid-proof, pet-proof. So if you got a pool, no problem. If you got a dog, no problem. If you got a husband that spills, no problem.
Floor Meisters, that's who I trust, and you should as well. 6281 Naples Boulevard in Naples. 239-596-4964 for the Floor Meisters.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network, so yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 855-SHARE-40. 855-SHARE 40. 855-SHARE-40.
Thank you for waking us all up out here, for all you do.
Thank you for giving us the voice.
For being out there helping keep the constitutional republic. I want to thank you for your support for veterans in the military. Educating us. Standing up for conservatism. Giving us the truth.
Florida's Voice with Drew Steele.
Well, hey, everybody. So glad you're joining us today on Florida's Voice. My name is Drew Steele. Big D on the other side of the glass. You got Nina in the breaking newsroom over there. And you hanging out with us at FL Voice News on YouTube, Rumble, X, and Facebook. We always appreciate it. Things are getting a little heated, everybody. They're getting heated on Capitol Hill, where Hakeem Jeffries had a run-in, a heated exchange with Representative Mike Lawler, a Republican, during the shutdown just a little while ago. And it sounded as if, it sounds like he's not pleased. Let me just play a little bit of this audio here.
Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend the ACA
Did your
right
boss,
now.
Donald Trump,
He's
give
not
you
my
permission?
boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
So let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to
Let me
shut
ask
the
you a
government
question.
down?
You
Why
know
did you
I-
vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
No,
make
it's
yourself
sad.
relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
Oh, boy. All right, that was just a little piece, a little nugget of what happened. I'll play the rest of it coming up. So if you're wondering what's going on with the Schumer shutdown.
It's the Schumer shutdown.
And there's a catchy tune that goes along with it. Just remember that Democrats have an opportunity, and we're given an opportunity again today for, I think, the 6th time to vote for a clean CR. And they were like, nope. This is another one of those hills that they're the Obamacare hill, basically, is the new one that they want to die on. Like the Republicans taking away your health care and premiums shooting through the roof. You sure you want to go there? Are you sure about that? They do. And so we'll get into that in just a little bit. First of all, it's always great to have on the program, visiting with us, the Agriculture Commissioner of the great state of Florida, Wilton Simpson. He's on with us right now on Florida's Voice. First of all, good to hear from you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Drew.
I hate that they're arguing. I hate that that all of that's back and forth, but it does, in a lot of ways, it's so remarkable when you have something so obvious, what it is, a clean CR, just keep everything open, and Democrats are trying anything that they can to use every opportunity that's out there to do something, to make a point, to get a headline, and all they need to do is explain to the American people why Democrat policies are better than Republican policies, and then maybe you can call it a day. Maybe that's part of the problem, is that they don't really want to get into that debate, do they?
It's really amazing that all of this time they expected the Republicans, as they had to when the Republicans were in the minority of both chambers, they had to go along with continuing resolutions that Democrats put forward under Biden to keep the economy open. The first time they get a chance, they shut it down, right? The Schumer shutdown, as it's called.
Yeah.
And it's not surprising that they would try these tactics. I mean, this is what they actually do. Now, before this story is over, all of your normal national media will be blaming the Republicans for this because it's what happens. Whatever the Democrats do, they then try to forecast onto the Republicans that's in the majority. And the one thing I don't understand, and thank God I've never served in Washington and I never intend to serve in Washington, but thank God that, I wonder why they can't do the 60 thing rule like they did during the budgeting process where they eventually can work their way around it.
Yeah.
And I think that clearly the Senate had rules, and if they always followed the rules and it was always 60, it'd be a different place. But they have given up on that 60-person rule so much. I don't know why they don't just do that on this if they have to, and go ahead and get the other things that we want. Get all the bills in there that President Trump has done executive orders on that will go away the next time you have a Democrat president immediately, like the boys and girls sports and all those things. There's 24 of them that should be low-hanging fruit. The foreign enemies can't buy our agriculture land. They should wrap all of those in one. We need to have one more big, beautiful bill that solves this problem. And of course, I don't know the rules of the Senate. I understand you got to have 60 votes to break a filibuster, but if you can do it to create the one big, beautiful bill, I'm not sure why they can't do it to fix this challenge. And when I think about it, Drew, it's pretty simple stuff. There's no Democrat going to side with them to do anything.
Right.
The fact that they have all three chambers today and President Trump will sign those bills, go ahead and make all the cuts they want to make at the federal level. President Trump is saying he's going to do that, and he will. Cut all the employees out that we don't need or that's overspending and get rid of all of it.
Yep.
And just go ahead and be done with this process. The Democrats are never going to come to the table. I don't know why we're waiting on them to come to the table. We just have to do it without them.
Right.
And with 53 members of the Senate, we should be able to do that.
Yeah, I think a big and something that just popped into my mind as you're talking about this, and I think it's an important aspect to the story is, there was a time when, and this is just me speaking now, sir. I'm not speaking for you or anybody else. This is just me personally. There was a time when you thought, all right, well, maybe there's a little give and take, and there needs to be. And we have to give a little here to get a little there and the like. And I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I don't care if Democrats kick and scream. I don't care if the media kicks and scream. Do it all you want. I mean, lately there's been a discussion, and I'm going to talk about this coming up in just a little bit, of where people get their news. They're not getting it from any of the media outlets. They're getting it from us. They're getting it here. They're getting it on X. They're getting it in new media places so they can find the truth because they're hungry for it. So let them kick and scream. Let them try to demagogue and say what they want. But at the end of the day, this is not only what people voted for, but it's also important to keep the republic stable. It's also important to stop this spiral going down for the country, but also the prices of things going up. And forgive me, I'm on a soapbox here. Well, I'm actually sitting on a soapbox, but that's a whole other story. The point is that, when I hear this discussion about like premiums skyrocketing through the roof, it's like, you did this. You pushed Obamacare on us. You made all this happen. And just for the fact that you've fudged numbers and you did things with tax credits and the like to make it look as if people weren't paying a lot when they really were. And then all of a sudden it starts to spiral out of control with these prices. They did this, sir. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's like, to your point, I mean, if we got to start cutting, if we got to start doing things while this is going on, so be it.
That's correct. And there's many things in there that you said that I should hit on points. Is first of all, come midterms, the Democrats are going to blame all of these shutdowns on the Republicans.
Let them.
If you know that, yeah, let them. So if you know that's the truth already, let's know the truth today and go ahead and open the government back up with our own votes. Do the process to go around the 60-person rule, open it up, and then pass every bill that we need to pass. Democrats are never going to vote for a common sense solution to our federal government. If we show the American people, the reason that, this tug of war happens between the Republicans and Democrats, with the changing of the House every 2 years or in the Senate, is because we don't produce results. When we get in position, now President Trump has done an amazing job producing results. The administration passing the One Big Beautiful Bill was an amazing bill, an amazing accomplishment to get done. Why not take the opportunity to take the next 3 to 6 months to pass all of the Republican bills, including in these budget items, including the cuts that we want to do? You remember before it was John McCain that was a no vote that stopped the Obamacare being turned around. And so when you think about history, what we know is in 6-8 months from now, campaign season is going to heat up. They're going to blame everything on the Republicans. Anything that goes bad or any deficiency in the economy because of what's happening today will be blamed on the Republicans that are there. And of course, the Republicans are going to go out and tell the truth and try to hold their seats. But the truth of the matter is why not operate today in real time? Because those set of facts. Do it our way. If we do things our way, like we did in the state of Florida, the free state of Florida, and I was Senate president when we did most of all these sweeping changes, we then went from majorities to super majorities. Right. If Congress will get together and pass these bills and pass the funding that we would like and do the cuts that are necessary to lead to a balanced budget, we will come back with bigger majorities than we currently have. If they don't, if they pander around and allow the Democrats to push them around and keep this government shut down, and that creates additional ripples within the economy, it's probably going to cost some of them their seats. And what they're worried about the wrong thing. Right. They're worried if they make tough votes, it's going to cost them their seat. What they need to be worried about is if they don't make these structural changes while they have the ability, that's what's actually going to cost them their seat. Yeah. They've got it completely backwards in Washington. This is just one more thing. Here we are in Florida, balanced budget, $20 billion of reserves, lowest tax state in the union per capita, lowest debt state per capita in the union, best education system in the union 8 years in a row. We do things right in the state of Florida. It's because of great leadership. I've been proud to be a part of that leadership. And Washington only needs to look at that example to say, let's quit being scared of the marginal seats that are out there that could tip the balance of power. Let's do the right thing. And when you do the right thing, the American people will respond just like the people of the state of Florida responded.
You bet. Florida's Agriculture Commissioner is Wilton Simpson. He's joining us right now on Florida's Voice. All right, before we go, let's talk about a couple of AG things, if we can. First of all, what's going on with Walmart? They're making a commitment right now to sourcing from Florida growers. Is that right?
We were in Gilchrist County with them yesterday, and they buy billions of dollars worth of product. I believe the number was $1.5 billion from locally grown food. We're trying to work with them to institute our Fresh from Florida program within the Walmart so people can see that their produce and fruit and other things that we grow can come from Florida. People want to buy locally grown food. If you want green space in the state of Florida, if you want a slow growth, support your Florida farmers. Yeah. There's many groups out there that try to hurt us all the time, but if you support your Florida farmers, you will keep your green space. You will substantially have that wildlife corridor, and we will be able to grow affordable food. And so Walmart made a major commitment. We're going to follow that up in a few weeks on the Fresh from Florida work. And it's really, I think, going to open a lot of avenues for our Florida farmers and our consumers here. And if you're hearing this and you're not a member of Fresh from Florida, please go on our website, be a member of Fresh from Florida and support our local farmers. And that's what that was all about yesterday. Was at a Gilchrist County farm, beautiful family farm, great folks. And it's basically a farm to Walmart day yesterday.
Nice. And one other thing before we go, the Agriculture Regional Projects Program. Can you talk about that? What's that all about?
I can. Almost all of our farmers use best management practices throughout the state. All the big farmers essentially do, but a lot of the medium and small farmers also use best management practices. Once we use best management practices, the farmer then has participated in more of the costs of reducing nutrient loads, water usage, and all the things where they can grow a better crop on less resources. The regional water projects fit well into that schematic because as we look at our B maps around the state, areas of concern where we have, a pollution load of any level, nutrient load of any level, we can then go in and use these regional water project dollars to clean up specific areas, not from a farmer, but from all of an area that includes some farmers, but includes also road runoff, stormwater treatment, and things of that nature. So we're trying to add value from the agricultural perspective to our network of regional water projects around the state, just like all of those STAs around the Everglades. And of course, I was the sponsor of the Everglades Restoration Act 12 years ago when we did it. The C-44 reservoir, the C-43, the EAA, the Northern Storage, the C-51, all of those projects were done while I was in the legislature. Now, in this world of Department of Agriculture, we're going to be doing projects like those around the state to help capture, much smaller scale, of course, but to help capture any additional nutrient loads that we'll have going into any of our water streams.
Nice. Sounds great. All right, sir. Well, always great to hear from you. We'll talk to you soon, okay? God bless.
Hey, God bless, Rick. Thanks.
Right. That's Wilton Simpson, Florida's Agriculture Commissioner, joining us on Florida's Voice. Always appreciate a visit. Let's see. 866-588-8303 is the phone number anytime you want to call. We're live 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. All right. Let's get to this. We played a little bit of Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Lawler, the Republican representative from New York, getting into a little heated debate, a little heated argument, if you want to put it that way. Let's play a little bit more of what went down just a little while ago there on Capitol Hill.
You could sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here. Why won't you sign on?
Let me ask you a question.
It's a clean extension for 1 year.
You voted for the one big ugly bill, correct?
I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history, including, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing yourself.
Do you want to cut the standard deduction in half?
The largest cut to Medicaid in American history. You voted for that.
Fraud and abuse, by